I'm Mike.
And I'm Todd.
We're here from Root Shoot Malting.
Here's your craft, spirits, and distilling tip of the week.
Right now, let's talk about some corn.
The amount of corn grown in the United States is immense. They use it mostly for feed production or ethanol or cow feed. Previous years before we started the malt house, all of our corn was used for dairy feed or silage. So silage is actually like taking the entire plant, chopping it into little pieces, and then putting it in a pile and letting it ferment over the winter so that it's the primary feed for cows. We have been working with our seed breeder and also distillers on figuring out what the best corn is for the process of distilling. What I've found through all my research is that low oil corn is kind of the best thing that you can use for distillation, because that low oil is going to have an increase in starch. So I guess the kernel itself is made up of starch, protein, and oil. And so there's only so much room in that kernel for those different things. And so if you're wanting to increase your yield on your distilled product, you want starch so that it can be turned into simple sugar by the enzymes that are added during mashing. That's what we focused on. A lot of it's flavor too. So we've worked with a local distillery on 10 different corn varieties that we grew, ranging from like high level of oil to low level of oil, and kind of trying to find the sweet spot between what's the best. Is it the flavor that we're focusing on, or is it the yield that we're focusing on? And I think a lot of it comes back to yield, because corn doesn't really impart that much flavor. It's not like a malted grain that is high kiln that's really going to impart like a chocolate flavor or a bran flavor. It's just corn. A lot of distillers are just using yellow dent number 2 corn, and what that means is it's grown for feed mostly. There's nothing really like spectacular about it. Yellow dent corn just means that it meets a certain standard of test weight, how much the kernel actually weighs. So a bushel of corn is 56 pounds. The bushel weight of corn is 56 pounds. I guess corn is graded on a scale of like 1 to 5, I believe. Most distillers are using yellow dent number 2 corn. All of our corn that we grow is number 1 corn, obviously. So, which means that it has a higher test weight. Usually it's around like 60 pounds per bushel weight. We actually pick it through extensive cleaning. We work with a grain cleaner out of Longmont that will make sure that it's cleaned precisely, so there's not going to be any broken kernels. There's not going to be any bugs, obviously. There's not going to be any foreign material either. I think that's super important, because you don't want dirt or like plant material going into your mash tun, because that's just going to impart some flavors that you're not going to want through the distillation process. On our farm, we grow all non-GMO corn. If it's destined for a distillery, we still will grow some GMO corn for feed and for some of the dairies that we work with. But I don't know if there's any distinct correlation between flavor and yield, but I think that the non-GMO corn imparts a different flavor than GMO corn, and I think that the actual starch content is higher. I don't have any scientific facts to back that up. That's just my opinion. I guess none of our customers are actually requesting that either, but I just think that that's a way to kind of tell your story. It's a way to stand out from the market as well, is to say that you're using non-GMO products. I guess everything that we grow on the farm is non-GMO at that point. Mm-hmm. So barley is non-GMO, wheat is non-GMO, rye is non-GMO.
To learn more about Distillers Malt,
click the link below.